Hi guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hi guys, how you doing? Alexa, what's the time please? Alexa, what's the time?
It's 9:22 a.m.
Let's get her to tell us another joke, shall we? Alexa, tell me a joke.
How did the hipster burn his lips? He drank his coffee before it was cool.
I've done that many times. In fact, I've burnt my lips on many things. Right guys. So I'm boring, so I'm gonna spice things up a bit, have I? Well, I'm not gonna start removing clothing or wearing revealing clothes. That's something I'm not gonna do because I want to be taken seriously. I honestly do. Nicky, you're knocking everything over. Oh my goodness. Animals in videos. Right. So I took Max out earlier than I usually do because I got up a bit earlier. I thought I'll take Max out a bit earlier. So got dressed, fed the cats. The cleaners were 2 flats up, so I got out before the cleaners were by the doors. Went straight onto the field. I didn't go around the concrete wharf area, I just went straight onto the field. Group of people in the middle because it's earlier. Wasn't too bad. I'm trying to get Max used to the dogs, so we walked past dogs, black dogs, brown dogs, white dogs, and there was this woman with long grey hair with a bobble in it running around in a yellow fluorescent top with 2 dogs. So she was older than me. I would have said she was about 60, and she was running around the field with 2 dogs running after her. So I was slowly walking because I've hurt my back, and she was jogging along with 2 dogs running around. Woman, female. Builders still building the school. It's going to take forever, that is. I took Max around for a walk. It was quite pleasant. And then I came back and the cleaners were in the building. A male cleaner was on my floor, sweeping the floor. Went into my flat. He was quite near my flat, but not too close. The dark-haired, small, bearded cleaner was cleaning near my flat when I came back. Came into my flat and just started making a cup of coffee, and basically my mum has just rung me up. She said she's going to call me back a bit later, but she's alright, my mother's alright, I'm in my flat. The builders are building down the bottom. As you can see, there's always just me in the flat. There's no other family because I live by myself. When I get up in the morning, it's just me, Max, the cats. I've got no children to take to school. I've got neighbours that have got kids, right? And, you know, the school run and everything, kids are screaming, kids are yelling. I mean, I've got used to it now. When I first moved in, it was very difficult to get all used to these noises. Because, you know, I haven't had small kids. I mean, I'm 53, so when I had my first child in 1996, 68, 69, 70, 80, 96. I was 27, getting on for 28 when I gave birth to my first child. My second child I gave birth to in 1996. Then I had a child in 2001, and then my last child was in 2005. So my youngest child is 16. And my eldest child is 25. He's 26 this year. So I haven't got small children, and I haven't got a black dog. As you can see, Max is little and tiny, and he's brown, and he's a Chihuahua, right? I haven't got a car, I'm very basic, I don't drive, I've never learnt to drive. So I walk everywhere, or if I've got the money I take the bus or I get the train, or I use the taxi service. If I had a car, why the hell would I order a taxi to go and see my mother? That would be ridiculous. Why would I waste taxi fare money going up to see my mum if I had a car? It'd be a complete waste of energy, petrol and everything, wouldn't it? If you stuck me in a car, I wouldn't know how to turn the ignition on, because I used to watch my father Derek drive. He used to drive me to All Hallows, and you watch and you observe. And I've driven Dodgems in a fairground, so I know how to use a wheel. But I wouldn't, and obviously my dad did try and teach me to drive once, and I nearly went into a brick wall. But what I'm saying is, I can't drive. So if you stuck me in a car, I wouldn't be able to drive it. I've got no driving licence, and I also haven't got a passport. So my life is very, very basic, okay? So, you know, when the car park attendants come down, they're not putting tickets on my car. I haven't got one. Because some of them do look up, like, no, you won't catch me with a parking ticket because I can't drive. It was my father Derek that drove. He drove me to All Hallows, drove me to Park Holiday Caravan Park, he drove me to Who, he drove me to Hempstead Valley Shopping Centre. It's got a lovely big Sainsbury's in there. He drove me to Dover. We went through the Dartford Tunnel. My dad drove everywhere until he had a heart attack in 2013, and then he couldn't do anything anymore. He just couldn't drive. He had to be careful with his heart, right? I do miss my father, of course I do, and you don't get over losing someone just like that. You don't, right? And everybody like carrying on like Derek's still alive, and that hurts even worse for me because I want to get over it, you know. You don't get over someone dying. I wouldn't say you ever do. They were your flesh, they were your blood. You know, you don't get over someone dying. You just don't do that. You put it to the back of your mind and you carry on, but you don't get over it. And why would someone expect you to forget somebody? Because you don't forget. You don't forget, okay? I've got to go to Bluebell Hill Cemetery at some point to see my dad's plot where his ashes were scattered. That's something I've got to do. I shall get a taxi up to Bluebell Hill Cemetery at some point this year, and just because my dad took me to Bluebell Hill Fields and walked me around there. He also drove the car and we sat together in it, and we had lunch, sat on top of Bluebell Hill, me and my father. So basically I need to get that over with. My mum never used to come with us. She wouldn't, she refused. I asked her many, many times, Mum, can you come with me and Dad to the caravan park, to here, there and everywhere, and she wouldn't come. She just said that the cats were more important. She had to look after Ginestra's cats, because she never calls me Crystal, never. Whenever I speak to my mum, she will never ever call me Crystal. So while I was with my dad everywhere, she was looking after Ginestra's cats, my cats. And there's only one of them left, and that's Snowball. Gingy, who was in a YouTube video, is probably dead. Felix is probably dead, and Snowball's mum is probably dead, because my mum left those cats with the owners of Victoria Road. She said to the owners that taking the house, you know, could you take the cats on as well? Because I could only keep one cat at the flat, I couldn't keep 4. And so they were left at Victoria Road, the cats were, because my mum asked the owners to look after them, and I never saw those cats again. Anyway guys, see you later.